Good evening. We are back for the second segment of the Glazov Gang with three titans. Morgan Brittany, Michael Chandler, and Orestes Matacena. Did I pronounce that right?
Absolutely.
New member of the Glazov Gang. Ladies and gentlemen, our culture moment before we get back to the issues. Morgan, let me ask you, please, for me, please, can you do the forget about it?
Oh, it's accent night.
Okay.
So I got it.
All right, go ahead. Let me see.
So, I don't understand about this Obamacare thing. I was going on the computer and forget about it. I got an error message. What can I tell you?
Okay, one more forget about it.
Forget about it. Don't even bother with the Obamacare.
Okay, now Morgan, where do they talk like that?
They talk like that in New York.
But
Long
Jersey
Island.
too? Is it Jersey too? Or?
Jersey has a little bit of difference.
Okay, can
Staten
you do a Jersey?
Island, oh my gosh. I don't know. Jersey is...
Don't worry about
Or
it.
how? Okay, no wait.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or how do the women talk in Virginia?
Oh, in Virginia they talk very much like this. They're very kind and they're very soft and they're very sweet. And they don't want Obamacare any more than anybody else.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much, Morgan. And Michael, an impression or imitation?
Well, you know, sometimes these people run off at the mouth and think I got to have the freebies, you know, but it's not good for the people know how.
Okay, and that's St. Lucia? No.
Well,
I love it.
A little bit Jamaican?
yeah.
I cannot make any impression.
You don't do impressions?
No, I don't.
He's got his
Don't
own.
worry about it.
What? Let me hear
That
it.
didn't sound like
Okay, let me hear it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
but let me ask you this. What exactly does it mean? You know how in the movie with Donnie Brasco, they were trying to ask him and he was saying, it doesn't mean don't worry about it. What does it mean?
What, forget about it?
Oh, yeah, sorry, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Okay, let me
Worry
hear
about
it.
Forget about it.
Is that good, Morgan?
That's great.
Okay,
That's
but what
great.
exactly does it mean?
Forget about it. It's like
Does it mean to forget about it?
No,
It doesn't
matter.
matter.
Forget about it. I don't want to talk about it.
But it could mean something else.
It could mean anything, yeah. Forget about it.
Just forget about it, right?
You mean after the forget about it? You know,
Okay.
you know, it comes a little thing about this size. You know, forget about it.
That's what forget about.
Okay.
I'm 32.
What are people missing in life? People are missing out big time if they miss and do not watch this film. Morgan, what film do people need to watch that's one of the best films in the world?
Ooh.
To the force.
Tour
Yeah.
de Force? Michael?
Man.
I think I'd agree with that.
I think
Force?
I'll agree with that, but also Saving Private Ryan.
Beautiful
Yeah,
movie.
wonderful.
I
movie.
think Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah, that's
Goodfellas?
great. Yep.
Scarface,
Yep.
I always
Mystic River?
I always like Tombstone.
Tombstone.
the
Tombstone.
mask.
Huckleberry.
The mask.
The Mask.
But it's a
Yes.
great movie. I mean,
No, no.
everybody have seen that movie.
Absolutely.
It's a
You
wonderful
got to
movie.
see
Yeah,
Tour
yeah.
de Force
Tour de Force.
for absolutely.
Yeah.
What is a character that you would have loved to play in a movie?
Ooh.
Like maybe like a film that you love that you wish.
I liked Open Range. I liked the role that Robert Duvall played.
Wow. Okay. And guess who's been mistaken for Robert Duvall a lot of the time, right, Orestes?
Yeah.
And you sometimes pretend you're Robert
Yes,
Duvall.
yeah. I've even taken pictures. You know, people, this is not Robert.
Okay.
Well,
Who would you have liked to have played?
I based my character in Dallas on Eve Harrington from All About Eve with Bette Davis. So I would have loved to have played Eve Harrington in All About Eve.
Wow. Orestes?
There are so many characters.
Tony
that-
Montana and Scarface.
Absolutely.
Okay, I apologize. That's a stereotype. Okay.
No, but there are many characters I would love to play, and but I will be playing one that I've been wanting to play for a long time, which is a Nazi, a Nazi general. Yeah, and it's a movie that I'm going to be. My next movie is called Swastika, about the Jewish resistance in the streets of Warsaw during the Nazi occupation. And hopefully I'll be playing a Nazi. I'm going to put the Nazi accent, the German accent, you know, And I'm working on that. I'm not
Okay.
going to do it now
well,
here.
Make sure
but
you tell us when it comes out.
absolutely.
But I know Schultz and Hogan's serious when he said, I know,
I know nothing.
Oh, wait, okay, now I get to do a culture moment.
But ils vont faire.
Wait, you guys guess who this is on my culture
Okay,
time, okay?
okay.
Do you want to play games? I can play games too. So come on in and say hello to my little friend.
That's Al Pacino.
Tony Montana.
Yes.
Okay, it's not that.
See,
good.
I
okay.
got that. I got that.
I won't quit my day job.
No.
Or remember, say goodnight to the bad guy. You won't see a bad guy like this for a long time. Is that good, Orestes?
Well,
Will you
it's
get me to act in
like
some
when
of your
he
movies?
said, and he says also, he said, when I see a communist, I'm going to carve.
But are you so impressed with my impressions right now that I might star in one of your movies? No, I'm not.
You will be in my next movie.
Okay. I apologize a little bit to my viewers if you are waiting for the serious discussions of our time, and we will begin now, and no disrespect to serious issues and also to the victims of totalitarianism and terrorism that we will now discuss. But I think sometimes we need a little bit of laughter to keep our sanity, right?
We do.
Turning to something very serious, the Islamic terrorist attack in Kenya. We have found out some of the details that the media is obviously covering up again, the torture that the terrorists inflicted on their hostages. They were gouging eyes out and many, many horrible tortures, asking people if they were Muslim to recite a Muslim prayer, asking who Muhammad's mother was. If they didn't answer correctly, they shot them. This is about Islam. The terrorists are saying that this is about Islam, but the media is saying it's not about Islam. And again, nothing in the media about this. Our society and culture does not want to admit who is tearing us apart. Some of your thoughts on all this, Morgan?
You know, one of the things that has bothered me over the last couple of days is the rhetoric that's coming out of the Democrat Party calling Republicans jihadists, terrorists, racists, all kinds of things. They're throwing words around, terrorist and jihadist, like they don't really know what it means. If you read this article, which is what you're referring to about this mall shooting in Kenya, how these people, these murderers were so brutal, and what they do in the name of Islam is so horrendous and horrific. And the United States media is just completely giving it a pass, not talking about it at all. But it really concerns me that our own elected officials are throwing words around like that about other elected officials.
Morgan, you know, you're so right, and what's just incredible is that the Obama administration allowed the Muslim Brotherhood and their front groups to come into the administration, purge our intelligence manuals from the words Islam, jihad, etc. So we don't even have the words that we can work with to defend ourselves, but yet those words are used to defame people that want freedom for this country.
Exactly.
Thank you, Morgan. Michael, your thoughts on all this?
I think back to the earlier days of communism when the communists saw it and made use of useful idiots. I think the media in particular and the Democrat Party, the socialist-oriented parties within the West in general and America in particular, are useful idiots facilitating, aiding and abetting the Muslim jihadists worldwide. You look at Libya, you look at the downfall of Egypt, you look at the trends in Syria, you look at how we let Iran avoid the change that might have occurred for the better, and you look at the changes that are ongoing in Iran now. They're pursuing the atomic bomb, and now they're going to come with a smiley, hopey-feely sort of program to lull America, lull Obama again until they can get across the finish line. And once they do, just like North Korea, then America and the West will be faced with another nuclear-armed terrorist state. But even then, Iran won't have to fire missiles itself. They can hand off stuff to Hezbollah or Hamas, and they can sneak it across the border into Israel or into the United States.
Dark, frightening times approaching. Orestes?
I think that this whole thing is about by design, and I would say follow the money. All these things that are happening is not just because it's just happening, and I say, we get caught up in the killings and all this, which is horrendous, and we are looking at those little things. I mean, horrendous things, but we don't see the bigger picture. And I think that this is to bring to make a world one world order. And they're doing all these things, because when we talk about
and who's going to lead it? Obama?
No, Obama is
a
puppet. Obama is a puppet.
No, but what?
No, Obama is a.
No.
In 1960, I started thinking that when none of you were born, I started thinking about these things, and I thought that all these that the world was going to come into one, and the United Nations or something or another entity is going to be like that. Like, for instance, now destroying the dollar. We talk always about a dollar. The dollar right now is worthless. Okay, but it's going to come to a point that they're going to destroy it. It's going to be a whole
worldwide
economic collapse, and then they're going to take, let's say, make one monies and
all right.
That sounds
so
fun,
just a sec.
anarchy.
Okay, so what's the bad news? Okay, now just before we move on,
the
crazy conspiracy theorist or a very wise prophet who sees something emerging?
I think he's right on target. I think that's exactly what's happening. Look at the debt. Look how much the debt's going to rise by the time Obama's out of office, if he ever is. But this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
They are looking to collapse the system. That's what they want to do.
Okay, Michael, briefly, please. We need to move on.
I was going to add another layer with the UN attempt to regulate small arms worldwide, and that's going to bring pressure on American gun manufacturers and providers of ammunition. Think Remington, think Winchester, think Colt, Smith & Wesson. All those sorts of companies, and those who are ancillary, are going to be under greater and greater pressure, both from the UN, speaking externally, and from the American governmental system, federal, state, and local. Well, that impinges on the freedom of the American citizen, the liberty thereof. But that has been totally ignored by the same media that we're deriding for this thing with Iran or this thing with Kenya.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So all these things are important. It's hard to keep track of all the things that are important.
That's right.
Thank you. But there is one show that's covering all the important issues most effectively.
The Glazov gang.
Absolutely.
You know, I like these kind of guests. Ladies and gentlemen, Netanyahu just spoke at the UN. It looks like Israel's all alone. I don't even think America, with Obama in the lead, has Israel's back. Is Israel going to have to strike Iran soon, or should it, or would it even be effective? How do you see Iran building this bomb or having this bomb, and what Israel's going to have to do, and if it can do it? Orestes.
Well, I have always loved the Israelis because they don't waste time, they don't fool around, and when they have to do something, they do it, and let they choose whatever has to be done, they will do it. And Netanyahu, I am absolutely convinced that he's going to let those weapons of mass destruction been,
Are you pro-Israel?
Absolutely.
That's why you're a member of the Glazov gang. Michael Chandler, Israel and Iran, very briefly, please.
Sooner or later, they're going to strike them.
What do they have to do or need to do? What if all those nuclear weapons are under all those bunkers and stuff?
They may not strike. They probably have a multi-pronged attack upon them. One by air, as well as ground. Surreptitious ground forces. Think of sappers. Okay, where they sneak in. They pretend to be Iranian scientists or whatever, or guards, and they'll sneak into the facility and they'll blast a charge from within, while bombs are coming down from above, and however deep down that structure may be, it'll be attacked from two directions, so that it all collapses in and destroys it.
Morgan, Israel and Iran?
I think Netanyahu realizes that Obama does not have his back. I think he knows that. I think he is he's looking at Obama as being played by the Iranians. He has a lot of patience. He takes meetings. He does the right things. But I think in the long run, Netanyahu will do what is right for his people.
Okay, gang members, we just have 2 minutes left. Right now, the priority is to show your talent at brevity, which means a sentence.
Well,
I want to ask a couple. Huh?
I wanted to say something about what we were just talking.
Do it under 30 seconds?
You know, a community organizer and a lawyer against a KGB agent. You know, Putin has turned President Obama into his shoeshine boy.
Wow. And you know what? I'm the child of Soviet dissidents who hates communism, can't stand Putin. How absurd that sometimes I enjoy watching Putin humiliate Obama.
It's ridiculous.
Now, we just have 2 minutes left. Please, one sentence each. Who is Obama?
An idiot.
An idiot?
Oh,
Michael?
man.
A charlatan.
The Manchurian Candidate.
Who is Holder?
Holder. Holder is a puppet.
He's dishonest, despicable and dishonest.
I agree with that.
Let's end with
He was the lawyer of Fidel Castro.
Wow.
When Elian Gonzalez.
Right,
So
that's right.
with that,
And so let's end on Cuba because we have a great freedom fighter from Cuba with us this evening. Who is Fidel Castro, Orestes?
many people say that he's an intelligent guy. I think he's another idiot. That the day, because Cuba someday will become a free country again, and his name will disappear. And all politicians like to have their names forever in streets and stuff. There won't be not even an alley called Fidel Castro. He's an absolute idiot, who is a billionaire, by the way, according to Fortune magazine.
Well, Orestes, where I would disagree is an idiot does not know how to hold on to power for many decades and mass murder so many people. So I would call him a monster. But we both agree in terms of what evil he represents. Michael?
Castro was an ideologue, a poisonous ideologue that contaminated many peoples, not just the Cubans, because he affected even people into Mexico.
Absolutely.
And the whole Central American region has been affected by communism.
South America.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous, soulless, heartless. That's what I would say.
Mass murder that the left venerates. Will we see a free Cuba in our lifetimes? Is it coming soon or not?
Well, I would say this. I would say that people have what they deserve, and the Cubans, they right now, unfortunately, and it's terrible for me to say this, but you know, the Cubans, they have to have an uprising, and if they don't, you know, because they're waiting for the Americans to go there, it's not going to happen ever.
And you know, not to minimize the Cuban suffering, a lot of suffering, but just to bring that to our shores. People get the governments they deserve. Wow, the person leading this country and who elected him? Crazy.
I agree with
Morgan,
you.
Brittany, Michael, Chandler, Orestes, Matacena. Thank you for joining the Glazov gang. We'll see you next week. Good night.